There's a lot of talk about Ubisoft right now, but I haven't seen anybody talk about this potentially huge missed opportunity. Successful companies, particularly entertainment companies like video game publishers, should always be focused on delivering creative projects that excite fans and the developers working on them. The best companies will plan these projects in specific ways with specific timing to build up on hype or utilize new technology because they just want to make a good video game. That's it. Ubisoft is not one of those companies, or at least it hasn't been in the last decade or so. This example of a product Ubisoft knows fans want, knows would sell well, but they just haven't cared to make, is their biggest missed opportunity. Now, I guess I should start with mentioning that there's probably a very long list of ways Ubisoft has either messed up, dropped the ball, underdelivered, overpromised, or anything else in the last decade. Even just recently, with comments like Skull and Bones is a quadruple A title, and then getting memed with its footage being shown alongside Assassin's Creed Black Flag from 2014, a game they made 10 years ago, looking way better by comparison. The specific mistake I want to discuss is something Ubisoft didn't do, not something they attempted or changed the formula of and ruined along the way. And I believe it begins with this. The fact that Ubisoft's CEO delivered a statement that if they couldn't monetize a game, turning it into the Far Cry copy, open world, co-op, microtransaction mess that they're now infamous for, they just wouldn't greenlight the project. An ethos like that for an entertainment company is truly where this missed opportunity begins, because that thought process breeds lost creativity. And the year is 2016, and Microsoft and Sony are hard at work designing the next generation of consoles, with the goal of catching up with what PC gaming was capable of at the time. And that meant the inclusion of SSD hard drives for increased loading speeds, and more importantly, at least for this video, the capability to render ray-traced lighting. And there is no way a large publisher like Ubisoft wasn't aware that this tech was coming to consoles. And I can think of a once popular Ubisoft franchise that got its start by taking advantage of a new console generation to create a game that revolutionized the way lighting was approached in video games. Why in the world was there not production started on a Splinter Cell game that would launch alongside the new generation of consoles and would set the bar for how ray traced lighting could be utilized in a stealth game? You couldn't draw up a better plan to sell a video game if you tried. Ubisoft had all the cards and proceeded to, I don't know, throw them out the window? I guess? I mean, fucking Minecraft was the goddamn showcase for how cool ray tracing could enhance future games. How is that possible? Because even at its low points, Splinter Cell was a well-received franchise. 2013 Splinter Cell Blacklist had everybody agreeing that it was a step in the right direction and that it deserved to be followed up. And all Ubisoft had in response was radio silence. And while it was becoming obvious that the new consoles were going to allow for impressive upgrades in lighting, they just decided to blue ball Splinter Cell fans. Rather than working on a visually impressive money cow that would have been a new Splinter Cell game, they started including Sam Fisher in all sorts of teaser-style cameos in other games. Other franchises that had slowly been ruined with their uninspired, greedy game design. And for what? Why? In hindsight, it's become abundantly clear that they didn't have any Splinter Cell related projects in the works at the time. Like, how can you be just aware enough to realize that, hey, maybe some Splinter Cell themed missions may move some copies of our mediocre as hell Ghost Recon game, but so goddamn clueless about the situation to not follow it up with anything else Splinter Cell related? Again, with the backdrop of this new generation of consoles being just around the corner, they even got the original voice actor for Sam Fisher back in the role for these cameos, one of the biggest complaints from Blacklist. And that was freaking awesome and would have really generated some real Splinter Cell hype if it had actually been followed up with something even moderately exciting. But nope, nothing for years. Like, I'm glad they now have a Splinter Cell remake in the works, But there's also been a lot of silence on that for the last couple of years now. So we'll see if that ends up working out. And if it does, it'll be in the later stages of the Xbox Series and PS5 generation. That means they've still completely missed out on creating a launch title for the Xbox Series X and PS5 when all of the pieces were there to make something truly special and live up to the memory of the original 2001 game. And shit, I just realized it could have also been on Splinter Cell's 20th anniversary too. That is Ubisoft's biggest missed opportunity. Thanks for watching.